Hello.
Good evening, Louis. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, can you hear us? Oh, I have the volume down.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you
Great.
loud
Um,
and
Excellent.
clear.
Well,
This is
thanks for.
Ava.
Hi, Ava. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about tomorrow. Are you kind of excited?
Yeah, kind of nervous too. But
Yeah, that's okay. You got to take that nervous energy and use it a little bit, you know, and
Mhm.
just do it. Then it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of are you a performer as well, Louis? Obviously you care about the arts.
I do. Um, I'm not a musician, but my livelihood is painting to live music. So I take a canvas or a surface and go to live concerts and sort of sketch and draw and paint.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's sort of what's brings me to doing this kind of thing. Um, I've been doing Make Music Day in Chicago for many years, meaning I go to wherever the music is, and so I've been
Oh,
sketching and drawing to performances, and uh, now that I'm on the Arts Commission of Wheaton, I thought, well, let's do something here where I live. You know, that was the thought.
yeah, we
So
actually came upon a flyer when we were visiting over the weekend in the beginning of June. And what I love about it really felt, or it really was, it sounded like an open invitation,
yes,
right? So one of the things that I admire about just Ava, and I guess people like us, where we feel the music inside our soul and how it comes out is, I mean, it just has to come out,
it
right?
does.
For you, it comes out in the form of a painting. But
Yeah,
if you imagine if you didn't, and it just kind of it's like a bottled up pressure.
right,
Um,
right,
yeah, and so I'm so proud of Ava because she really doesn't have a background in that, and she just has this passion. And I guess it probably came from me because I'm a disgruntled performer. I always wished someone would have put me in anything and no one did, but I've taught my daughters how to sing in public, and it doesn't matter whether anybody likes it or appreciates it, but it has to come out one way or another. And
right.
so thank you so much for having this opportunity. I
Of
love
course, of course, of course. I'm right there with you. When you were talking about having a passion, it has to get out. If you remember a few years ago when we had the COVID thing happening and
yeah,
weren't allowed to go to live music, you know,
right.
for what felt like a little while, it was a little bit like, okay, that's not fun. That's not fun. Hey, folks, you're good to see you.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
Great, great. Um, this is going to be relatively informal. It's really just to sort of gather folks together, and I'm just going to keep admitting people in here. I think Lynn LaPlante is coming, and the we're all going to be performing in different areas. Hey, Lynn,
Hi, Lewis.
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. It's putting together a festival. You know what I mean?
I, I do. I do
You do
know
know what I'm talking about.
exactly what you mean. I do. I love it.
And I think this is going to give everybody a chance to actually see each other because on tomorrow's performance day, people are not really going to be able to see each other. We're going to be working. They're going to be performing. So, um, you know, this is also a chance for everybody to ask questions, get some details, because it's musicians and venues that are going to be hopefully joining this, um, like sort of 45 people invite Zoom. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Will we have chairs? That was one of my questions.
um, not specifically, but
Oh boy.
I can bring some. Meaning, I think we're going to kick things off tomorrow, Lynn, with you in Adams Park.
Yeah.
And I believe the city is going to have some video stuff happening first thing in the morning there too. Like they want to get it out of the way before everybody's all sweaty and hot. So,
Okay.
you know,
Well,
so I can bring some chairs.
that would be amazing. We'll need 3 folding chairs. We can't, that's how, especially the cellist, obviously, can't
Yes,
stand.
of course, of course. Okay, yeah, I've got 4 white folding chairs, and I'll bring those.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank
Not sure
you.
if I'll be able to leave them because you know, but I'll have them there for you. Hey, folks, how are you? I'm just sort of generally saying hi to everybody
Mhm.
and admitting people. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I thought it'd be kind of nice to sort of just have a informal opening ceremony so everybody could see each other, and I'll keep repeating myself, but ask questions. And um, you know, my life has gotten very exciting over the last few months as we're doing this, and it does not surprise me that the city of Wheaton has a maybe untapped source of massive creativity, which
Hmm.
is it's like, okay, this could be like 15 people, maybe 10 people show up. We've got 53 performances and like 47 performers happening. And this is just word of mouth, social media. And we only started a few months. So this is very encouraging to me. Um, does anybody
Terrific.
have anything they would like to know? Or, and you have to talk to me. You can talk to other people that are here in the Zoom.
I have a question. I was wondering, so like as far as the music, once you're performing, would I plug my phone up to an aux cord? Should I have the music on a flash drive, or is there a DJ? How does that look?
Well, that's mostly up to you and the venue that you are performing in. So I would suggest to folks that when they show up, that they touch base with the venue itself. So usually it will be there's a lot of indoor facilities here that you're going to go in there and be like, you're going to have to ask somebody like where the power is, stuff like that. Um, in terms of how you actually perform, Tim, that's really up to you. Um, I guess I didn't ask. Did I answer your question or no?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and content wise, I'll say this out loud because we're here. This is a community festival, so we're all sort of like working for each other. And I'm just sort of I'm clicking here, folks, and adding people to it. Um, and that just means volume wise, it's you're going to be probably indoors. Um, and again, this is like you're sort of working as a community member. You're working with the individual venue that you're in. And if you're outside, you could be a little bit louder if that makes any sense. But as usual, the things I like to do, as close to you can get to a total freedom is what I'm all about. You know, that's me as an individual artist, though.
Mhm.
What was team questions about broadcasting live something? Like, is that something planned at some of the venues? Like, I'm not familiar with. I
We
mean,
did not
we're
talk about
recording at our. Mhm.
Patricia. We didn't talk about live streaming at all.
Right. Mhm.
That's sort of again, that's really up to you all. This is one of the great things about this festival is that it's completely community based and it always has been. So if you would like to live stream your performance, that's fantastic.
Not sure we're there yet, but I was just wondering. I mean, we're gonna
Yes,
record just for, but
right, right. I certainly would encourage folks to do your own documentation, please. And when you're posting it, you can tag at Make Music Day. That's one thing. They have their different pages on the social platforms, and also hashtag Make Music Wheaton, and that will sort of keep things all together in terms of when you're searching for this stuff afterwards. And it's we're going to reference this next year also, because that's the other fun part, folks. This is Friday. Next year, Make Music Day is on a Saturday, which even more folks will be off work, or at least not doing the 9 to 5 thing on Monday through Friday. How am I doing, Lynn? Uh, so building up to
Sorry,
this.
I was muted. Sorry,
Oh.
sorry, Louis, you're doing awesome.
Thank
Mike
you.
is on the big desktop. We're doing two different Zooms, dueling Zooms right now.
Doing Zooms.
You're doing awesome. Could you put in the chat that hashtag and the at Make Music Day, just so we're all clear, so we all know how to
Yeah, where is
what
that?
exactly to use? I know it's hard to find this stuff on the here, but that would be helpful.
Where's the chat? Yes, when I find it, I will do that.
Okay.
There's the chat button.
There it is.
Okay, this is going to everyone.
Yep.
At Make Music Day. My wife still makes fun of me because I type with both my fingers. Make Music. So if we use these two, that should make things at least sort of gather it together social media wise. Because, you know, the part of this is about documenting what happens. And again, for, you know, this might be the only time you guys actually get to see each other, because tomorrow you're going to be in different parts of the city doing your own thing. And you get to experience the other person's performance a little bit post, you know, tomorrow evening or on Saturday, which should be kind of fun. I've been tending. Yes, Mason, please do.
So, this might be kind of directed to like kind of some of the newcomers and also like some of the extract juicer performers, maybe. Like, do you guys know if we're performing outside or inside?
Of course, yes. If you do you know what venues you are performing at?
Yeah, I'm performing at the extract juicery.
I believe that's inside.
Okay.
I think it's right next to the Naperville running shoe place. Does anybody know? I saw. I mean, I've seen advertisements for it outside. Maybe that's something you should check with the venue before you get there. That would make sense.
You.
Yes, you're welcome. I have been attending Make Music Alliance Zooms for the last few months, and a lot of things come up. You know, this is the worldwide thing is happening. So I've gotten some tips about what to do and what not to do. This opening ceremony Zoom wasn't actually mentioned, but I asked about it. Like, does anybody do this? And they just said it was a good idea. So, and again, this is nice, pleasantly informal. I think we'll see how it goes this year. It'd be kind of nice next year to sort of invite the mayor and the council. It'd be kind of nice to see if they'd like to show up to make it a little bit more official. But this year, I thought it'd be make it kind of more casual. Does anybody have any other questions?
This is the first time that this is happening as an opening ceremony on Zoom. Like, this is my first time to participate in this. So
it is for me. I mean, this is honestly the Patricia. This is the first time I'm officially involved with Make Music Day. I've never attended one of these things before, but
same.
My background is being a live sketching artist and doing this in Chicago for years during Make Music Day and Make Music Chicago. And I just know it's a lot of fun. That's a good idea. If you're not talking, you could mute, and then when you'd like to talk, you unmute. Thank you. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be fun. Just in case anybody would like to know, this Make Music officially started in 1982 in France. So I believe it was a diplomat or the president of France decided they wanted to do this, put on a music festival but make it all about the community. Nothing as opposed to let's get these giant headliners and make it hugely expensive and all that kind of stuff. It really was a grass. Let's get the every person involved and give them a platform to shine and show what they can do. I think I did that. I'm getting better at the Zoom thing as time goes on. And of course, you can unmute yourself when you want to ask a question. But seeing that it has this long history, it took a little while to sort of kick off in Europe, and I think New York started doing it about 20 years ago. And the cities that sort of are in the know get to sort of like pick it up, you know what I mean, and go with it and find out what their community is really about, and what resources they have that are just sitting there in everybody's house. It's kind of amazing that even my wife was saying, like, this is kind of impressive that there's 47 performers living in Wheaton that are just ready to go, show their stuff, and they just need the opportunity to do so. Doesn't surprise me because I know a lot of musicians, and I know a lot of folks that work in around here in DuPage County and Chicago itself, and different places like that. And not everybody has to, do headline stuff, and not everybody needs to be I don't know how you say it. At the standard, well, I won't do anything until I'm all the way up here, and then I will show what I can do. It's like, no, this is musicians know that it's about getting out there and sharpening your tools and getting an audience going. And yeah. If anybody else has questions, I'll sort of keep rambling on a little here for a while, but
I always have questions because I'm curious. So, but they're not important questions. So if anyone
yes,
else,
they are. Yes, they are. Go ahead.
When you say 47 performers, is like the list of performers from all the venues, the 21 venues in Wheaton, like that's the total number that you have, or?
Yeah. It was kind of growing even today. I think the last number I had was like 43 performers and 57 events, because some folks are playing multiple venues,
Mm-hmm.
So you play one place and then you move to another place, and you sort of get to spread the love around that kind of way.
That's
and
exciting.
that's interesting, isn't it? And it's a nice variety too. One of the things I got to do with connecting with folks is sort of finding out what kind of music they play, just out of nowhere. Like, I don't know all you folks, but I know you through a little bit through the music that you're going to make, which is, that's how I love to have myself. I'm a visual artist, so I love to have my work judged by its work alone, not really who I am or what I look like. It's most important is, like, that's how I like to judge other artists, is just by their art. Like, that's the first thing. And I like that. That's like an even playing field for everybody, and we get to see each other in a real way, I think, because I think sometimes we get bogged down by how large my head is or something like that. You can say, like, I don't like people with large heads. I'm gonna decide that and be like, well, you haven't seen my art yet, so
May I ask, how have you been incorporating your visual art because you mentioned that you participate in the Chicago events in the past, or
yes.
No, not for this particular.
Well, my background is, for more than 10 years, I've been doing live painting to live music. That's been my passion. So I get to go to a lot of cool shows, a lot of cool concerts here locally, and different places, New York, Poland, wherever they'll have me. And that's how I've gotten to know musicians or another artist. But instead of me saying after a concert, hey, I really like the way you play, the way you work that cello was fantastic, I can say, here's a piece of artwork, and this is what you have inspired me to do. And again, it makes the art speaking instead of me having to do it, because I could just stumble over words all night. But I love it when the art speaks.
Yeah, yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah.
I kind of wish, for many years I've been painting for Make Music Day. This is going to be the first year that I'm going to be sort of working as an administrator in this thing and making sure that I'm available for things to go smoothly. So it's going to be tough, but I think I'll get through it.
You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And honestly, I say this as I'm the individual talking to you, but it's the Fine and Cultural Arts Commission of the City of Wheaton. And we are 5-6 people now. They can't be on this Zoom. It can only be me because of city regulations and because I didn't plan a meeting a week ago. You got to follow the rules. But it's a team effort putting this thing together. Just to give you a name, another guy, Randy King, is another one of the commissioners that really did a good job with setting up the website, making sure that people were getting involved. And I've taken over that role now, but it's I'm not as tech savvy as some of the other commissioners, is what I'm saying, but I'm working on it. See you tomorrow, Lynn. A question has come up before about busking, like sort of like asking for tips. I asked this on Make Music Alliance Zooms, like, how do you deal with that? And they're kind of like, you know what? It's fine as long as you're not selling tickets and as long as you're not, explicitly asking people for money. You know what I mean? If you have a tip jar out, that's cool. That traditional level of busking, as they call, is okay, as long as you're not like requiring people to give you money to perform, because we're doing this out of the kindness of our hearts. Feel free to ask each other questions too, because I know you all just from your name and your email, and maybe a little bit of the music that you're going to play. I'm going to ask you first, Mason. Do you want to talk about anything about your the music that you're going to perform tomorrow?
Sure, I guess. I don't know. I'm performing like a lot of like calm pop kind of stuff, like karaoke versions, and I'm just kind of singing with the instrumentals.
That sounds cool. Have you been doing this for a while?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time.
Nice. And now you get to share it, Anybody feel like sharing a little bit of their excitement, or I don't know, talk about what they're going to be doing?
Well, I'm also curious what venues people here are representing. We are from, and I say we because my colleague is teaching at the moment, so she wasn't able to be on Zoom, but we are at the Notable Notes
Oh, yes.
Academy and Lynette Zell is the owner, is not able to be here today, but she worked a lot behind the scenes to make this happen, and our students are actually very excited to participate. We have a harmonica class in the morning and one in the afternoon, a bucket drumming class where then we distribute the bucket drums and the sticks, and the piano recital with several of our students. We are doing duets, solo pieces, all levels, from I have some 5-year-olds to high schoolers playing very advanced pieces. So yeah, very excited.
Excellent. That's beautiful. Yeah, it was nice to have Lynette join the commission recently. Yeah. And it was great to know that she not only has a music school, but has a team, obviously. And connecting to that is very cool. If I'm right, thinking that Notable Notes just opened up a second building? Is that right?
Yes, yeah, we call it the annexes, like right the building next door, and that's where the performances are gonna take place.
Beautiful.
So yeah, and it's all thanks to, I mean, yes, it's a team effort, but Lynette has worked a lot. It always takes a lot of work behind us, as you well know. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. But that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's very exciting. I mean, this is also, folks, a chance to sort of highlight local businesses also. You know, we're sort of talking about the music school, but you know, just places like Extract Juicery, you know, like they're into the arts. They want to do it. I think there's Mirabali Shoes somewhere. They want to do it too. That means there's somebody at that business that love the arts enough that they would like to have people perform and invite people into their store like that. Um, Brian, do you mind if I read your message, or would you like to sort of just keep it there? I'm sorry, folks. I'm reading a message from somebody. Um, I'll see if I can get to this. But another thing that I wanted to do this year with just kicking off the Make Music Day, Make Music Wheaton, was build the bridges between the different institutions here in the city. Right. I think it's another um, job as an arts commissioner is kind of like building the bridges. So we really got the city of Wheaton involved, of course, and the Wheaton Park District, their own separate entity. They're involved. That's why there's a performance, at least one happening at Cosley Zoo. If you all know that we actually have a world-class zoo right here in Wheaton, which is very cool. So there's going to be something happening there. And, you know, getting the other organizations that are involved is like Arts DuPage, which is a part of the DuPage Foundation, and Arts DuPage, obviously the arts, they promote the arts through their website, and the city of Wheaton actually uses them as a conduit for a lot of things that are happening in the arts. It's a good resource, folks, if you need to sort of like what's going on in Wheaton with the arts. Arts DuPage is right there for you.
I'm not sure if my audio is coming through. This is Catherine. Arts DuPage didn't promote us on their website, sadly.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just saw it the other day. I was looking for it.
Do you mean yourself specifically, or you mean the Make Music Wheaton?
I was hoping it would be on there. It should be.
Well, Debbie Venenzia, who is to me that's Arts DuPage.
Yeah.
She showed me the link, and I looked at it, and they were promoting Make Music Wheaton.
Okay. I was looking for it. Otherwise, by the way, this is really a great thing you're doing, Louis. I'm really glad that Wheaton's participating in this. And when we perform, we'll be thanking the city, Arts Commission, and our venue, and everywhere else. This is going to be wonderful. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Catherine. I got to thank you, Catherine. I wish I could attend all these things. You know, that's the other thing that I'm kind of be missing out on is being able to be everywhere because so many things are happening all at once. But that's why you know, again, I encourage folks to do your own documentation, whether it's you have a friend that just takes a video of you doing your performance, even if it's a minute, and then share it on social media with the hashtags, and I'll send those again to everyone. I think you might be right. I'm not sure what other cities in Illinois. I know Chicago obviously is doing Make Music Chicago, but I don't know. Every once in a while I go to the website and sort of click on to get there from where everybody else is getting there, which is just start from Make Music Day .org. And yeah, it looks maybe it's just Chicago and just Wheaton this year. That's kind of It's kind of big time. If anybody else, any questions, be fine. Let me try to, how do I repeat this? No, that's not right. Okay. You're seeing me navigate the chat thing over here.
Are we all muted?
No. I mean, you can
Okay.
unmute yourself, or I can unmute you if you'd like.
No,
Bill,
I
how you
just
doing?
can't find the comments. Good.
Okay. I'm sorry, Derek. There you go.
Yeah, I'm driving, so my wife said I just didn't know if we were muted or not. It's on my phone, so I found the mute. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Hey, for me, it's just good to put like faces with eyeballs to the emails and the everything else because I'll tell you folks, during the during that little pandemic thing that happened, big thing that happened, it was tough. It was a couple years ago. It was like, man, I can't just be next to somebody and give them a hug and let them breathe on me. I got to do other things. And I'm glad that's over there somewhere else and we can do this. And the timing is good too, folks. I mean, here's the one of the things the Arts Commission have sort of decided, the Fine and Cultural Arts Commission, the city of Wheaton, is that, if we do this the next few years, it could turn into something. Meaning this year it's on a Friday. Next year it's on Saturday. The following year, 2026, it's on a Sunday. So the next 3 years, we sort of have a chance to get an audience, I think. Once it goes back to being Monday and Tuesday, it's a little tougher, I think. But, this year we'll see how it goes. I think it's pretty successful already, and it hasn't even happened. That we will continue to do this in 2025. Dennis, you're asking how to officially confirm a gig. So what I've found out is that through the website, through Make Music, maybe Make Music Day, Wheaton.org, whatever it is. Yeah, that thing. You should be getting notifications, I believe, to the email that you use, and they confirm. And there's been some back and forth where times have changed, and some things have gotten, some slots have gotten canceled because other things it's been like relocated or it's been rescheduled. So again, that's another thing that I can, as an admin, I can go onto my phone and
So I
look at the
unmuted. Can you hear
dashboard.
me?
Yes,
Louis?
I can hear you.
So yeah, I've been emailing back and forth through the app with the venue, and we've got everything set up. But she said, I think you need to officially confirm. So I thought there was something on the website or on the app that I should do. I don't know.
Usually that means it's sort of on my end to officially confirm it.
Right, because it says pending.
Okay, so let me try to find you here.
It's at the DuPage Art League.
And so sometimes I have to, the pending part is I have to wait for the venue to officially accept.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know how because they were saying to me that I may need to do that. I don't know who needs to do that.
So that means I will reach out to Misty of the DuPage Art League. Actually, I did. Dennis, I did that today. I didn't hear
okay.
yet. Again, this is the fun part of this being like a community festival, and it's up until now, it's like somebody can just decide they want to do it now and go click and then get on the website and try to do it. So I'll reach back out to her after the Zoom.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have your emails now, so I can sort of connect you both and say, hey, is this happening or is it not? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think it is. I'm ready to go.
So
So,
if it,
uh,
it just
yeah, and I think she's ready too. So I just
cool.
didn't know if there was something that you needed to do on your end as far as confirming or whatever, but whoever
Yeah.
needs to do that, I think we're good, Misty and I haven't spoke to her, but
Okay. Yeah, I mean, part of the admin thing is just sort of trying to connect dots and follow up with things that are pending on the site, and you know, that's part of the fun too. Then I get to like connect to a musician, who's like, hey, this is what I do. I live in
perfect.
your town. Oh, sorry. Does anybody else have any sort of particular questions about um I don't know, where they're going, the venue, any details they would like to know about their performance? I mean, you all are the musicians and performers, so you know more about the details that you need to know. A lot of it had to do with power, no power, stuff like that for the outside venues. I'm officially only in charge of the Adams Park venue and the Wheaton French Market Plaza venue, because those are the city of Wheaton stuff.
Well, I have a request in for the Adams Park, and I haven't gotten a response either way. So
Okay, let me. So Derek, do you need power to play?
ideally,
So so Adams Park doesn't have power.
okay. Well, I'm on my way to get a PA right now, so that might influence the type of PA I get. So
Okay,
I could probably get a Bluetooth one that'll work without the power.
okay.
Yeah.
Now the Wheaton French Market Plaza venue does have power.
Yeah,
Um,
we scoped that out today. I went over there and also the Hale Street. Are we allowed to use a tip jar or put up like a freestanding banner with a QR code that links to our website or our social media pages?
yes, good question. And that came up with the official Make Music Alliance stuff. Busking is fine as long as you don't require people to pay, and as long as you're not like it's not like you're as long
I
as you're
don't know
not
how you can require them to pay.
well, like aggressively asking for money or something like that. Like, I'm not going to play another song until you put $1 in this thing. Like, we don't want to do that.
Okay.
Um, but apparently
Hello?
it's fine.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Deja. So I've been emailing you back for Timmy F because I signed him up surprisingly and he didn't know he was performing until later this evening. And I told him and he's really excited. But I do have a question about one of the venues. So it's Suburban Music. They reached out to me, but then they never emailed me back. I don't know, like, how does that communication work? Because they asked, was he available to work at or perform his music at 4? But we reached back out and just let him know that basically no, because he already has a performance at that time, and we wanted to keep it at 6. And then after that, they didn't respond back or approve the time slot.
Okay. And there could be a few reasons for that. It could be that they have somebody already happening at the new request time. I've seen that. I know Suburban Music has things happening sort of like all day, and if someone requests a spot that doesn't fit, um, they kind of then the dialogue happens on email about, okay, well, if you can't do this time, you can do this time. And I think when it gets down to the wire now, since it's happening tomorrow, some of those conversations might get lost a little bit.
Okay.
And I apologize for that. And sometimes I
Okay,
think it's
yeah,
because
because
of
they said like the 6 p.m. slot was open. They just wanted him to perform at 4. They said to keep the music going because I guess like if he doesn't perform at 4, then it'll be a gap between the person. I'm looking at the schedule now. The person who's
okay,
performing at 2 and like 5-ish. So there's nobody performing between the times between 6 and 6:25. That's the original time we picked, and that slot was open. So I just don't know where to go from there. So should I call them in the morning? Like,
okay,
can I call the place in the morning, or how does that work?
you sure can. I mean, we're talking about Suburban Music, right?
Yes.
And if
So
I'm
like when
going,
they when they reached out and emailed and like messaged us on the inbox, I responded right back, and then they're closed now. I looked up, they're closed at 7,
Okay.
but
And is this for Timmy F? Yes?
yeah.
Okay. So, and here's what things that I can do. Another reason to have the Zoom here is I can sort of plug in here. If I try to match suburban music to you and you got a specific time, I'm doing on kids in the venue.
Yeah, so if you click on suburban music, like it shows him there, but it says pending approval.
And you're looking for, it looks like 350 to 425 is a spot.
So no, the time that we selected was 6 to 6:25.
Okay. Let me see what happens when I do that. Okay, well, no, it sounds like there's a pending thing here. Maybe the pending thing is you.
Yeah, it is me. And
So
I just saw that you put it in now. I'm looking at their venue again, and now it shows his name twice.
I'm gonna just do some clicking here. This is easier to do on my laptop than it is on my little phone here. All right. I got Timmy F. Suburban Music, 6 to 6:25.
Yes.
Pending. And here's my finger going to hit approve. See if that works. Come on, baby. Okay, it said the performance has been approved.
Yay, thank you so much.
You got it. I mean, one of the things that was nice too about working with the city of Wheaton here is that, you know, they paid the fee for this website that a lot of make music cities are using. Some people don't use it at all, but I kind of find it was, if it works, right? It's kind of like a dating site for musicians and venues, which is kind of a weird thing. So it's like, here's my profile, here's what I look like, here's the music I play, and the venue could be like, that's great, you're in. Or they could be like, yeah, well, I'm thinking maybe I want to see if there's somebody else I want to date.
Yeah.
And that sort of happens back and forth.
So I'm in the same
suburban
situation
music have,
in Adams Park.
I'm sorry, there was hearing two folks there.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was asking, does suburban music have microphones?
I'm assuming they do since they're a music store.
Okay, okay, great.
But I would, again, I would suggest if you can preemptively ask them, like before you get there.
I can maybe respond to that.
Yes.
I checked in with Suburban Music yesterday, and they have a PA system and a couple of microphones. I think they said they might be able to provide like an electric piano. But anyway, they do have microphones and a PA. But he also recommended to me that I bring my own gear if I want a particular sound.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, if you're comfortable with your own gear, of course, that's the stuff you want to use. And if particularly music schools, they're often happy to provide. So I as more preemptive as you can be to ask would be great. And sort of details like that. How we musicians we have to improvise sometimes, and you have to sort of work with what's there in the moment. That's what I do when I do my visual art stuff. And that's part of the fun, right? But yeah, as many I's that can be dotted and T's that can be crossed before you actually get there would be a good thing.
Hey, Lewis.
Yes, Dennis.
So I just figured out how to accept, and it's on the schedule. You click on the schedule, and there is lower left-hand corner of the box. There are 3 choices: accept, I think decline, and something else. So I hit accept, and it switched from blue pending to orange pending city approval.
Yeah. So then it goes to me. Then it gets.
That's how it probably gets to you. Then
it gets turfed to me, and this is something you're saying you just did.
I just did it. Yeah. I looked at it again and I saw this accept button. I was like, oh, there it is.
All right. So the two that I see are pending, one's Acoustic Sunset. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, since we're on the line here, we're on the wire. I'm just going to approve it. What do you think about that?
Well, I'd appreciate that. And I know that Misty would appreciate that as well. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there we go. Approve a performance. The performance has been approved.
So, Lewis, can you do that for my Adams Park slot from 6 to 7, I think it is.
Okay, let me check that out.
6:10 to 7:05 or something. I don't remember.
You may have to hit that accept before he's able to do that, though.
Well, it just says pending on my end. I'm not the venue. I'm the performer, right?
Right.
So I didn't get anything by email like I did at the other venues, like the French Market and the Hale Street and the coffee shop.
It's on that pending schedule. If you click on the pending schedule, then you'll lower left-hand side of that box, you'll see 3 choices. One will be accept. When you hit that, then it changes over to pending city approval, which will then go to Lewis, I believe.
Okay, well, I thought the venue had to accept it because I requested the performance, right?
Right,
so
right. Mine as well.
I've only got my mobile phone. I don't have a computer. So when I click on that box, nothing happens. I don't think.
I was able to do it on my phone. Don't do it when you're driving, though.
Do you have an iPhone or is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because mine's an Android. I'll try it when I pull over.
Yeah, just
I'm headed to Guitar Center. So.
I didn't see it until I looked closely. So when just pull it up, click on it, and then look for these. They're highlighted blue 3 choices.
Yeah, because I haven't done that at any of the venues. All the venues I think did that, and then it went to Lewis, as far as I understood it.
So Derek, I see a pending one from 7:05 to 8 p.m. at Adele's.
And does Adele have to accept that, or do you do that?
No, they do. They're like
okay,
and they might already have somebody going on. Honestly, it seemed like Adele's had, and that could be the other thing too. If there's somebody in that slot that they've accepted, then I guess your request might be in limbo or something like that.
Well, then I get a thing that says it was canceled. Like, so I was scheduled with the Art League, and then I had some conversations with Misty, and they weren't comfortable with religious music. So I looked through my secular songs, and even my secular songs, like for sobriety and stuff, referred to God and demons. So I just said, you know what? I'm really not into censorship of my music. So, I'm not going to have God censored out of my music. So I gracefully declined. And then, she canceled it. But in the case of Cosley Zoo, they had a slot open from 3:30 to 4 that I applied for. And I think they closed at 4. And I think they just decided to decline it because there was a guy playing like for 2 hours before that. And I think he figured he was going to need time to take down his equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good point. I've sort of found that there's not much time for setup and takedown at a lot of this stuff. Like they're blocked up next to each other.
That's why I set mine like 5 minutes before the hour or 5 or 10 minutes after the hour, assuming this musician was going to need time to do that.
Right.
So.
Right.
Hey, Lewis, that brings
Hey,
up
Lewis, question for you. Oh,
yeah, go ahead, Timothy.
yes. So are Adams Park and the French Market Plaza separate venues? Because I was under the impression everything was being moved from Adams Park to French Market Plaza.
No,
it's not replacing Adams Park. Okay.
No, they're 2 separate venues. Adams Park is the park run by the city of Wheaton that is the library is on one corner, the DuPage Historical Museum is on the other.
Yeah.
That's Adams Park. And the Wheaton French Market Plaza is the smaller paved plaza that's next to the new Wheaton Pavilion, which is essentially a parking lot that's on the other side of the tracks, Liberty and Maine, I believe.
Oh, it's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And
my question is,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the shows that I have confirmed in the app, are not reflected on the new poster that you just sent. It shows someone else performing at French Market Plaza, when I thought I was going to be playing there. So I'm a little confused. It
Yeah, I
shows with
mean,
George Berlin and Trevor Hill playing at.
yes, they're playing 8 to 10 p.m. at the French Market Plaza,
Okay.
and they
Yeah,
have
I
been.
thought that was me. So
No, I'm
it
sorry.
shows me as playing at 8 there on the app. So I'm confused. Is the app the official schedule or the poster that you sent?
Oh no, the app is the official. The poster I had to do this morning, even though
Uh-huh.
there's still things coming in and changing, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I see. So it may not be up to date.
yeah, and that's
Okay.
this is also the me figuring this out, meaning I don't know, next year it might be like I got to cut it off 2 weeks before the day,
Mm-hmm.
so we can have it
Yeah,
official.
there should probably be a submission deadline
you know but,
sometime.
but a lot of cities are like, no, you got to let people do it up until the day of. It's like, well, then you start into the I can't make official posters, I can't promote a lineup a month ahead of time if things are changing the day before. um but but Timothy, I'll try to figure that out for you.
Sure.
You are I know for sure what's happening at the French Market Plaza from 8 to 10 is George Berlin and Trevor Hill. George Berlin is a digital artist, and he's going to be doing a digital projection on this wall that is going to be the mural wall in the future. And that's sort of a big deal.
Well, it's possible that I'm playing at Adams Park then, which I'm still not sure, but we'll find out.
Yes. I mean, I'll look on to for me.
Which I never
The
really heard the answer on
website
my
says Adams Park.
All right, so Adams Park, I've got I'm looking on the app. Lynn LaPlante at 9, Threshold Singers at 2, Ritmo Latino at 3, the Teenage 3 Experience at 5, Derek Moore at 6:10. No, wait, that's pending. So I guess
can you prove the pending?
I think I can. And then Timothy Wilson 8 to 9.
Okay, so mine is at Adams Park.
Yes, you're at Adams Park.
Okay.
8 to 9 p.m.
All right. Thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Louis, we're playing at the library at 4:30.
Okay.
7. I have 2 questions. The first one is are we playing on the elevated cement stoop there in the library, or do we play down on the ground level? Do you know?
I don't know, honestly. Bob, that's
I was at the library. They said it is the elevated cement slab out the back door.
So up on top. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
And I had a question. Isn't that going to compete sound wise with Adams Park pretty well? I mean,
that was my next question. My next question was, where in Adams Park is the next group?
right,
Is it on the west side of it, or because it really can't be on the east side? Hopefully, it's not.
Yeah, no, that's really up to me tomorrow. I was planning on, instead of having multiple spots in Adams Park, which I could do, to have it in one area of the park that is not right next to the library. Because that's going to be a venue officially. So my plan was to have it on the sort of mid other side. Of the place. And
that's good.
By Clearwood.
I'm
so
sorry?
facing Clear Woods, is that what you mean? On the other side?
I think so.
You mean the west? You mean the west side of it? Because the library is on the east side. You're talking about putting it more on the west side.
Yes, west central was my thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the west side then is closer to Suburban Music, right?
No.
Suburban Music's downtown.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
They're not next to each other.
That's a different.
It's right here.
Different music store, I was thinking.
Yeah, you're thinking about the Jerry Evans School.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
and apparently Mason goes there. And we reached out to Jerry Evans, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it. And they didn't. and that's okay. You can't do everything, but
hey, Lewis, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
All right, I got a quick question for you.
Right.
So we're performing tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the library. A couple questions. I guess the first one, is there anybody from the venue that's actually there kind of coordinating the groups as they kind of arrive, or are we just kind of up to our own devices to do that? And secondly, as far as loading in, are we backlining stuff, or are we just trying to get it in a spot that's out of the way of any performers that are going to be performing when we get there? I guess some of those logistics would be good to know.
Right. For sure, you're working with the library staff, which is which they're very good at this. They've done this, but they've done things like this before, and I'm sure they have it all coordinated. This is Barry Erickson. She's the one I know, and she comes to commission meetings and stuff like that. So they have it worked out. Their details, I don't know, honestly. Like many of the other venues, how they're dealing with things is sort of up to them, which is sort of a self-sufficient sort of thing. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a make music Wheaton person, meaning like a volunteer there, but still the people that actually work at the library will be the people to connect with that. And if you're talking about sort of like getting your stuff in while there's another band going, I would advise just find somebody that looks like they're in charge, which is going to be somebody that works there, and just ask them beforehand. Before you before it's your time to be there, if that makes any sense.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sav, I think you're right before us. You go from you go from 3 to 4.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, and then we start at 4:30. So I actually had the same question because we're going to play on the top there. If you're going to play by the steps, which is more away from the library, there's all kinds of room on the backside of that. It's a pretty big portico with different steps, so you can actually probably position your stuff, ahead of time and just put it there if somebody's going to be playing before you. That's what we're planning on doing.
I
We
see
wouldn't
what
be in
you
your
mean.
way. Because have you been there? Have you seen, like the major steps that go up there?
I went there a couple days ago just to see the power situation, and I noticed that the outlets are right by the top of the steps. So
Yeah.
I
So
figured
we're
we'd
gonna
be
play
playing
there,
on
right?
top. Yep.
Right.
But
But
there's a second set of
behind it, there's that other set of
Yeah,
stairs, and
that's
also
right.
there's plenty
You're
of
right.
room just to, because we have, we're a three-person group, so we're gonna have some equipment. So we was just planning on going up the side steps while you're playing and just dropping our stuff off, not getting in your way, because you'll be towards the front of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Yep. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
I had a question about my performance. Is the extract juicery like is it gonna have like the microphones and like the speakers, or am I gonna have to bring it?
I would kind of always assume, unless you've worked it out ahead of time, that you'll have to bring your own gear.
Okay.
And if you're unsure, just touch base with them first thing in the morning, or if you have an email for them. If you want, I can sort of send an email to them, which I think is a guy named Kevin, and sort of have you both on the email to ask that question. But I would sort of assume that you had to bring your own stuff, unless they said otherwise, like on their profile, like, "Hey, we've got the gear." If that's probably where we'll go. But I'll try to connect you two on that too. Also, I've got a little checklist over here. Derek, you're on the top of the checklist when I can get on this laptop instead of this goofy phone, and confirm you at Adams Park at 6:10. I'll do that. Second one is Mason and Exact Juicery. Anything else, guys? And if I haven't seen your message on the side and haven't replied, please let me know. because I'm a visual artist. I'm not always so great at the tech, even though I do digital painting, which is a lot of fun also. Um, hey, just so you all know, this is going to be me sort of like pumping something that's cool. It's going to happen. Um, um, the city of Wheaton, the council charged us as the art commission to get a mural proposal together for the French Market Plaza spot. So if you can imagine the that big long wall, it's like 50 foot long, sort of 10 feet high. That's right there next to the pavilion. They built it with the idea that they were going to have a mural on here. So they told us at the beginning of the year, Arts Commission put something together. So we're lining that up. We're getting probably gonna get a mural hopefully approved. But the second phase of this project would be a digital projection mapping thing that's going to be happening on that wall. So in the nighttime, in the evening times, there can be stuff on this wall that's not just not a static mural. It's going to be moving around. So we're having a demonstration of that tomorrow night with live music to try to sort of sweeten the council into letting us do it. Anyway, that's just sort of a public art thing that's happening here in the city that I think would go great. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Mason. Yeah, I guess we are. We're getting down here to this. That was a fast hour. We're getting down to and does anybody have other questions? Anybody that came on late? Ami, it's good to see you. I think I saw you for a second.
Yeah. I came late actually. Sorry.
Hey.
I missed the first part, but yeah, if you, I mean, I know it's the end of the the meetup meeting, but if you can give me a gist of that, that would be great.
Sure. Hey, it's great to connect. It's good to see your face, and that's what this is about. This was also about just us also getting to see each other a little bit. Um, Essentially, this was just really so people could see each other and ask questions. One of the questions was about busking, sort of like having a tip jar, and that's fine. If you have a sort of a placard with your QR code on it and stuff like that, that's fine also. As long as you're not telling people, I'm not going to play until you put some money in the tip jar,
yeah,
then we're fine. Other than that, I was sort of just giving a background of Make Music Day, which is, started in 1982 in France, and it's continued on. New York City picked it up like 20 years ago, and cities all over the world are doing this on the same day that we're performing. So, I mean, I don't know, like Mason, that's for me, that's one of the cool things is that like you're performing at the same time on the same day all over the world.
Wow.
People like yourself are doing the same thing. And that's kind of like what I think music and community should be about, is that it's art in a very pure form that just brings us all together because we're there for the same reason, to use our gifts and to express our talents and to connect to other people in that way, which I think is a very pure and a great way for it to happen, because that has nothing to do except art, which is I think very important and very very cool. And I was also saying I kind of wish I could attend everybody's performances, but I can't. But I'm also encouraging folks to do your own social media, meaning if you want to documenting your own performance, posting it. Somebody asked about live streams. It's like you do whatever you want. There's no rules in that sense. But tagging at Make Music Day, the official organization, on all platforms, and hashtag Make Music Wheaton will connect ours specifically together. So I think that's one of my asks for your social media posts. It'll sort of bring it all together, and there'll be some other folks running around with cameras, I think, and excuse me, taking pictures. So I know the city's doing that a little bit. So that'd be cool. Um, any specific questions?
Well, I have a question, right? So I'll be carrying my small speaker and the stand and two microphones and two mic stands and my piano. But so in those venues, will there be any microphones or anything, or just we have to carry everything?
I would say, yeah, by default, I may just bring your own stuff.
Okay.
You know, you have it, unless you work it out ahead of time with the venue. Because most places are, unless it's a music school, they won't have amps and mics or anything like that.
Okay.
We'll know what the plug is, but I would say, by default, bring your own gear, and then you're in charge of it. Connect with the whoever's in charge of the place you're at, which is sometimes a restaurant, sometimes a music school or an art school, and say, where can I set up my stuff? What's the deal? And they'll work it out with you, because they signed up for this, so they know that people are coming.
Yeah.
And they want you there. That's the other cool part, is that this is not like the city's going like, you're gonna have to do this, you have to do this. Everybody who's involved here is community wise. They really want to do it, which is awesome.
What I am looking also for, like when maybe we'll start individually, but at some point, maybe after, in the afternoon, people kind of will know each other and there will be some, like I'll be calling, hey, get your cello here and why can't we, can't you join us like that?
That's a good point. I mean, this is the first year that I'm that the Fine and Cultural Arts Commission, City of Wheaton, is doing this specifically, right? And what I'm hearing you say is, wouldn't it be a cool idea, and probably for next year, to have like an improvisational or a jam session set up, which
Oh,
would
yeah.
be, like, hey, here's a slot that's happening in the Plaza or Adams Park or something that is an open jam, that kind of thing. Um, that's a good idea. That's a lot of fun, because you never know what you're gonna get. I love that stuff. As a live painter, that's always the most fun, because I'm always improvising with the band, right? When I'm doing my live painting and stuff, I'm working with what's happening in front of me. So even if the band is improvising, I'm improvising on top of that. But when they're really improvising and they're really sort of just like it's happening in the moment, that's how I work also, and that's exciting for me.
Amazing. Oh, I didn't know that you were a live painter.
Yes, that's what got me into this. That's my 10 plus years. That's what I've been doing.
Wow.
And that's why I like to connect to musicians very much, and what they do, because I'm not a musician myself. So thank you, Mason. Well, we're hitting that time. Ami, if you got any more questions, I'll be happy to answer with them. I'm here for you.
Well, I mean, no, I'm very actually, I have very limited knowledge about the performing, like the painting and dance forms, but I would love to see your event. I mean, if you are performing tomorrow, I'll come. I don't know. Are you performing tomorrow?
No, tomorrow, I mean, usually what I do is I go to Chicago and I sketch, you know, contemporary classical music all day.
Wow.
But this year is the first year that I'm not doing that. And I'm going to be doing wearing the lanyard that says, Arts Commission, and making sure that things that go smoothly, and making sure that people know where to go. And if they have questions, that I'm available, and setting up tents and stuff like that. So this is going to be the first year that I'm actually not doing that. Um, but that's okay. Maybe I'll.
No, that's absolutely. I mean, the load. I can understand the width of this work. It's like huge that you're taking care of. But when you are saying that when the classical music is going on, you are actually. I just remembered that famous line from Pablo Picasso. He told in his article I was reading, "Sum of Destruction. If you take the red from one part of my canvas, it will be appearing in a different form in some other part of in the canvas." So
Yeah,
that
right. I hear that. He's definitely a big influence. not personality wise. I try to stay away from all that stuff, but nowadays it's like it didn't used to be where the artist personality followed them and followed the work. You know, I kind of like it when you can just talk about the art and you
Exactly.
don't talk about the flawed person, because
Yeah.
I'm very, very flawed. And I'd much rather people just go like, look at the artwork. Let's talk about that. Let's not talk about what he had for
Yeah.
lunch, you know? But that's the way it goes. But yeah, that's, there's a lot of painters that get inspiration from music. Um, Particularly in the 20s and 30s, that was sort of like a thing where they were, out there listening to music and working and being sort of enveloped by the music, which is that's where I find a lot of my inspiration.
Wonderful.
So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow in the plaza. I'll be there.
And I'm starting at the Wheaton Library actually at 9:30.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Thank you very much for, for actually the Zoom session is very, very good. So I'm kind of imbibing it in my brain, and then tomorrow we will hope I keep my music up to your expectation.
No, it's like no. Oftentimes my art is pales in comparison to the music, but we're gonna have a good time. That's the most important part.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Ami. Good to see you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.